This next drawer has my Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes, BH Cosmetics. I have a Glamlite palette in here. But other than that, I think they're all BH and Juvia's Place. This is the Glamlite Cake palette. This is the first palette that I ever purchased from Glamlite. It's so pretty. I did a review on this palette. I definitely love this and would recommend it. I actually now have an affiliate code with them, so if you use code PAIGE, you can save 10% off. I do make a commission from that code, but it will be linked in the description box for you guys. I did go ahead and place an order on their website because they were having a 30% off, and I think they still are. So I will have that down below if they still are having the 30% off along with my link, but I think you have to use a different code. But anyway, I purchased quite a few palettes which aren't in here yet because I haven't filmed with them yet, but once I do film with them, I will put them in this drawer with these palettes. I have quite a few of these Juvia's Place palettes. The first one here is the Berries palette. This one was from the Trend Mood Volume 2, I believe, or Volume 3. I think it was Volume 3 actually. Super pretty colors. I think they are stunning. And then in that box we also had the Violets palette, which has some really pretty purple tones in it. This is the Nubian 3 Coral palette. This is a stunning palette. I love the colors in here. I love that it's pretty much all corally tones, and then you have some like pops of a slate gray color. I think the color story is stunning. This is the Zulu by Juvia's Place. This is a fun, bright colored one. I love this one. This is the Tribe palette. This has some really fun green tones. I definitely want to keep this one. I think I'm gonna probably keep all of my Juvia's Place palettes. This is the Warrior 2. Hello, I cannot open this. Wow. Okay, this is a completely matte palette. I think this is really pretty, but I haven't actually gotten the chance to use it yet. The reason I was so eager to purchase this one is because I loved the original Warrior palette so much, which I will show you right here. This one is so stunning. I love all the metallic formula shadows in here, as well as the mattes. So that's my Juvia's Place eyeshadow palette collection. Moving on to BH Cosmetics, I have a couple here. This one is the Galaxy Chick eyeshadow palette. This is one of their baked eyeshadow palettes. I don't think I've gotten a chance to use this one yet, but I definitely want to keep it. I love the baked eyeshadow formula from BH Cosmetics. I think this next palette that I'm going to show you guys is my favorite. This is the Aurora Lights palette. I think this is absolutely stunning. I love these shades so much. They're so metallic. I love everything about them. I love the colors. I love the formula. They're just so, so incredible. Then I have these two palettes. I have the Take Me Back to Brazil as well as the Take Me to Brazil Rio Edition palette. Here we have Take Me to Brazil. And then this is the Take Me Back to Brazil Rio Edition. Back here I have a couple of collaboration palettes. So we have the Shanaxo, the Remix palette. This is like the second version. The first version just looked like this. And then on the other side it had lip products, but the Remix version just has more eyeshadows. So I absolutely love this. I love Shanaxo. I will be keeping this one. And then this is the Carly Bible Deluxe Edition. I don't have the original one, but this one is so pretty. I love the colors in here. I love the highlighter formulas. Everything about this palette is so, so cute. Back here I have both of the Zodiac palettes. So we have the original Zodiac palette as well as the Love Signs palette. Here is the original Zodiac palette, and then here's the Love Signs palette. I think this one is definitely my favorite out of the two. I like the colors more. The formula is consistent throughout the both of them, but there's something about this palette that I'm just so drawn to. Here's my next drawer. In here I have a lot of like influencer brands. So I have like Tarte Beauty, Lunar Beauty, Lorelei Los Angeles, and then some other ones. I have my Tarte Beauty Volume 1 Textured Neutrals palette. I love this palette. Definitely will be keeping this. I don't think I'm going to get rid of much from here. This is the Lunar Beauty Greek Goddess palette. Here we have the Moonspell palette. I absolutely love the packaging of this palette. I think that it is so pretty and fun. So here are the shades. Next, I actually have two of these Strawberry Dream palettes. I have This one here, which is the one that is still intact. And then I have this one here, which is the first one that I purchased, but this shade in the top left corner actually fell out, and I emailed them about it, and they sent me a new one without hesitation. So I can go ahead and get rid of this one since they did send me that new one. And then my last Lunar Beauty palette is the Life's a Drag palette. I think this was his first palette actually, and I think it's super pretty and I love it. This is the Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream palette. This is one that I've had for quite some time and I've only used it like once or twice, so I definitely need to get more use out of this, but I think it's a really pretty kind of cool toned palette. Next I have the Laura Lee Los Angeles Cat's Pajamas palette. I think this packaging is so stunning. I love it. I think this is a beautiful palette. I feel like this is an underrated palette. I also have the Nudie Patootie, but that one is currently in my everyday makeup drawer. And then here I have two Fenty palettes. The first one is the Galaxy palette, which I bought actually quite a while ago. And then this one is the Moroccan Spice palette, which was actually sent to me as PR. Back here I have the Kesha Rose palette. I did a review on this palette as well, and I think this is a stunning palette. I think the colors are so fun. And I definitely want to keep this. I think I decluttered the rest of the collection though. I wasn't in love with the lip products from this collection. I think I might still have the eye products, like the liners possibly, but I did declutter the lip products. And then back here I have my Norvina Pro palettes. Here we have volume 1. This one is volume 2. And then here we have volume 3. I'm actually going to move this Kesha palette to the drawer below. So this drawer is full of a bunch of random palettes. So I'm just going to kind of go through these. First I have this one from Hank & Henry. I actually got this in a BoxyCharm. This is the Living in Color palette. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one since I don't see myself reaching for this. I have these two palettes here. These are from Millet Pepper. I think that the packaging on them is really cool, and I think they're really pretty colors, but I don't know that I'm realistically going to use these, so I am going to go ahead and declutter these. This is the Picante palette from Carity. This I got in a BoxyCharm palette. I haven't gotten a chance to use this on my eyes yet, so I do want to keep this one and try it out. I have a lot of like BoxyCharm palettes in here. This is the Celestial Thunder palette. This is a Dominique Cosmetics one that I also got in a BoxyCharm. This is like a mini version of the Celestial Storm. I definitely want to keep this, but I think I might move this up here with my other Dominique Cosmetics palette. This is the iconic London, what is this called? Slay All Day palette or something like that? Day to Slay eyeshadow palette. This is a really pretty neutral palette that I will be keeping. This is the Ofra Glitch palette. I think this is absolutely stunning, and this is still relatively new, so I am going to go ahead and keep this. This is the Too Faced Life's a Festival palette. I think the packaging on this is absolutely beautiful, but honestly, I never ever reach for this, so I am going to go ahead and declutter this, unfortunately. Back here I have the Lorac Mega Pro 2. This is a really old palette, but for some reason I still want to keep it, so I'm still gonna keep it. This is a palette from Sephora collection. This is the Vintage Filter collection. I love this palette. It gives me good memories. So I definitely want to keep this. This was actually given to me by my dad. He went into Sephora several years back and asked the lady for something that I wouldn't have because he knew that I had a lot, and she recommended him this palette. And he just randomly did that one day, so I thought that was so sweet of him, so I'm definitely keeping that. Here I have this Urban Decay and Gwen Stefani palette, and I really want to keep this because I loved it so much, but this is so old, I wouldn't use this on my eyes anymore. So I'm stressed about it. I want to keep it for like a collection's sake, but realistically, I'm just gonna go ahead and declutter it. Here I have a lip palette. This is from BH Cosmetics. This is the Nude Lips palette. I think this is really pretty. I definitely want to keep that. Here I have an extra Amrezy palette. I actually purchased both of them. So I bought one from Sephora and then I saw that I could purchase like the PR kit from the Anastasia Beverly Hills website and that I would get it faster than this one. So I ended up purchasing it again on the Anastasia website. So I have two of them, so I will save this one for a future giveaway, but I am going to move this to my giveaway drawer. This is the Moschino and Sephora collection palette. This is from Holiday 20. I don't even know actually if this is a holiday palette or not. This might have been like a I don't know when this is from. I thought this was a nice palette, but I feel like it was way overpriced. I think it was like $60. So I'm gonna have to think about this one. And then the last palettes that I have in here are all from Storybook Cosmetics. So I have the Little Red Riding Hood palette here. This one is my favorite one because it's the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. This one is Robin Hood. This one is Little Briar Rose. And then this one is the Wizardry and Witchcraft one, which looks like this. So I decluttered 5 more eyeshadow palettes from this drawer. This is a drawer that is dedicated to ColourPop eyeshadow palettes. It's actually randomly in like a different Alex 9 drawer unit. I am going to run through and show you guys the ones that I have, but I'm not going to open up every single one because I plan on doing a dedicated like my ColourPop eyeshadow palette collection video. So I will show you the ones that I have. I have a bunch of these 9-pan ones here. But I also have some of these other ones. Here we have the Bye Bye Birdie, the California Love, the Zodiac palette. This is a Kathleen Lights collab. And then this is the Dream Street palette, another Kathleen Lights collab. My setting spray spilled on this, so the packaging got kind of messed up, but the eyeshadows themselves are still perfectly fine. And then here I have the Truly Madly Deeply palette, which was an Ulta exclusive. I don't know if it still is, but at the time that I purchased it, it was. Back here I have some 9-pan palettes that don't fit here. They have to be at an angle so that it can close. So back here I have the Blush Crush eyeshadow palette. This is the Nude Mood eyeshadow palette. This one is the Going Coconuts. We've got Strawberry Shake, Ooh La La, Main Squeeze, Orange You Glad, Baby Got Peach, Honey, Meant to Be, Just My Luck, Blue Moon, Lilac You a Lot, It's My Pleasure, and the Smoke Show palette, which I feel like they renamed this, but I'm not 100% sure. So this is my ColourPop drawer. Here is what our declutter pile is looking like so far. I do have some eyeshadow palettes in my everyday makeup drawer. I'm not going to go through those in this video, but if you want to see those, you can watch my most recent everyday makeup drawer video, and I go through all of those palettes and what they look like on the insides as well. I do have a couple of eyeshadow palettes that were in this container right here. These are all face palettes here, and then these are the last eyeshadow palettes that I have to go through. In that little acrylic case, I have the Natasha Denona Cranberry palette. This is the Leela palette. This is the full size. I showed you guys the mini earlier. Here is what that one looks like. And then this one here is the Sunset palette. I don't have the Sunrise, but I really want that one. So here's what the Sunset palette looks like. These two boxes were over here, but these are just the like empty boxes of the Conspiracy palette and the Bloodlust palette. Both of those are over here somewhere, I think. So now I just have these palettes here to go through, so I'm gonna try to get this out of here, or at least the eyeshadow palettes. I also just remembered that I do have my e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow palettes here. I did purchase all of them from the e.l.f. website, so I'm pretty sure that I have every single shade. And then I also have a couple of these With Love Cosmetics palettes. This one is called the blue one, which is so pretty. I love this palette so much. I love the With Love Cosmetics pressed glitters. They are my favorite. And then this one is the pink one. I was able to clear this entire thing off, and I have all of the eyeshadow palettes sitting right here. So We're gonna go through these next. The very first palette here is the Heaps of Sweets palette by XO Beauty. This is Shan XO's brand. This was her first eyeshadow palette that she came out with. I purchased this and I was gonna do a review, but then I just had like a lot going on at the time, so I never got around to filming a video. But if you guys still want to see a video with this palette, definitely let me know. This is my other ColourPop palette. This is the So Jaded palette by Kathleen Lights and ColourPop. I really want the bigger like nude palette, but I think this one is so pretty. I love it so much. I think I'm gonna actually move this to my ColourPop drawer. Next, I have a few Tarte palettes. This is the Make Believe in Yourself palette. This is pretty old. And I don't really use it anymore, so I am going to go ahead and declutter this one. This is the Adeline Morin palette by Tarte. I think this is such a pretty palette. I love the packaging and I really do love these shadows, so I will be keeping this one. I will also be keeping this one. This is the Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette in collaboration with Tarte. This was such an iconic release and I still love this palette so much. Next here I have a couple of Jeffree Star Cosmetics palettes, all of which I will be keeping. I did an entire video ranking all of my Jeffree Star Cosmetics palettes, so you guys should go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. A lot of you guys seem to really enjoy that video. So this one here is the Alien palette. Next we have the Jawbreaker palette. I think this is one of the prettiest palettes from Jeffree Star Cosmetics and just in general. Here we have the Mini Breaker palette. This is the Blue Blood palette. Here we have the Blood Sugar palette. Here I have the Mini Controversy palette. Mine actually cracked and broke, which makes me so sad, but I do have this one plus an extra one. I did pick up an extra one of these when I went to the Morphe store and picked up the collection initially. I have two empty magnetic palettes. This one is from With Love Cosmetics and this one is from Morphe. There's nothing in here, it's brand new. Here I have my Conspiracy palette. This is the Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star Cosmetics collaboration palette. I love this palette so much. This is the Bloodlust palette. This is his most recent addition to his eyeshadow palette line. I love this palette. I think it's absolutely stunning. Here I have the Thirsty palette. This one is sadly discontinued, but I still love it so much. I do collect Jeffree Star Cosmetics makeup. I plan on also doing a Jeffree Star Cosmetics collection video very soon, so I think that'll be really fun as well. Then I have two more Jeffree Star Cosmetics palettes, I believe. We have the Beauty Killer palette here, which was his first palette, and then this one is the Androgyny palette, which was his second palette. I have two more palettes from With Love Cosmetics. This is the Tis the Season to Sparkle palette. This was a limited edition palette, which is so freaking beautiful. I never ended up using, which makes me so sad. So I definitely need to use this sometime very soon. And then this is the Cocktail palette. This one I did use and I did review, and I absolutely love the way that my looks come out every time I use this palette. This one doesn't have any of the pressed glitters. It's just like an eyeshadow palette and like a pressed pigment palette, and I love it. The colors are so bright and fun and awesome. I think the rest of these are Too Faced, Urban Decay, and Anastasia Beverly Hills. I actually do have one Huda Beauty palette. This is the new Nude palette. I love this so much. It's absolutely stunning. I have my original Naked palette, the one that I had when I was like a freshman in high school here, plus I did purchase a backup of it when I heard they were discontinuing it, so I do have a fresh one here. Here is the Naked 2 palette. Here is the Naked 3. This one is the Naked Smoky palette. And then this one is my most recent purchase. This from the Naked line from Urban Decay. This is the Naked Honey palette. So I don't have the Heat, the Naked Heat, or the Cherry one. But other than that, I have all the other Naked palettes that are like the full size. And then this is my very last Urban Decay eyeshadow palette. This is the Born to Run eyeshadow palette. It's so pretty. I definitely don't use this as much as I should, but it's so stunning and I really do enjoy this palette. Next, I have the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette. This is, I don't know how I've kept this for this long, this little sheet. This is before they like slimmed down the packaging. So this is super, super old, but it's a classic. This one is the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar Palette from Too Faced. Next, we have the Chocolate Bonbons palette from Too Faced. This one is the Sweet Peach palette from Too Faced. This is the White Chocolate Bar from Too Faced. I absolutely love the packaging of this one. This is the Chocolate Gold palette. These have some, or this has some really pretty metallic shades in here. This is the Too Faced Celebrating 20 Years of Being Fabulous palette. So it's like the 20th birthday, 20th anniversary palette. So we have like a circa 1998 eyeshadow palette, and then a reformulated version of the original 10 eyeshadows that they had come out with circa 2018. This is the Natural Lust palette from Too Faced. I actually got this relatively recently, a couple months ago. I don't think I've used this yet, but I did get this at TJ Maxx, and I do want to give this one a go. And then this is my last Too Faced palette. This is the Power of Makeup Nikki Tutorials palette. There was a lot of drama surrounding this palette, but this was one of the like first palettes that I really saved up for and was super excited about. This is so old. I definitely got some good use out of it though. So I definitely want to keep that one. And then we're down to these last few here, which are all Anastasia Beverly Hills. Here we have the Self-Made palette. This was my first one from them. I also have a video ranking all of my Anastasia palettes from least favorite to favorite if you want to check that out as well. Here is the Modern Renaissance palette. Here we have the Subculture palette. This is the Jackie Aina collaboration palette. This is the Carly Bible collaboration palette. This one I love so much. Here we have the Riviera palette. I actually just mentioned this one in a TJ Maxx haul. This is the Alyssa Edwards palette. Whoops. And then this is my very last eyeshadow palette. This is the Amrezy palette. This is so amazing. I love this palette so much. Every time I wear this, everybody asks me what I have on my eyes, and it's almost always this. Like whenever I get questions like recently, it's almost always this palette. I love it so much. I love the pressed glitters, love the mattes, love the metallics, love the colors, love everything about it. I love the packaging. So yeah, this is a great way to finish off the video. So this is my final declutter pile. I have 23 palettes here. I obviously kept a lot more than 23, but I am happy that I was able to go through everything and remind myself of what I have, and then also declutter some palettes that I can pass along to other people. I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my skincare declutter coming very soon. I'll definitely do better with that video. I also plan on doing my brush declutter soon. And then once everything is like cleaned up and done, I will do a full makeup collection video along with a beauty room tour. Anyway, I love you guys so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!